My name is Michael Aaron Lloyd, and welcome to the Objective Slant. This program is all about you, the people, and the issues that plague our society today. And hopefully, you get as much information as possible from me. I'm not no expert on everything, but I mean, it's all good. It's all good. And before we jump into things real quick, I just want to thank you all for watching. I'm pretty sure there's about hundreds of thousands of people out here, just doing their own thing, and then they turn the TV on and whatnot, and they see a young face like mine on here. But anyway, so the goal here on the Objective Slant is to just talk about these problems that plague maybe not just the state, not just the state of Texas, but the whole country and beyond, because it's good to have the awareness. You have to be aware in this society today, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know, like, something crazy could happen, and it's just like, man, like, and you're trying to figure out, like, well, what do I do about this? But anyway, so today we're probably going to be talking about censorship, talk about free speech, talk about people like Alex Jones, who have been censored on the internet for seemingly no reason. Maybe there is a reason behind it, but I mean, come on. This country was founded on free speech, and whether you like it or not, that's just how it is. There's all sorts of, terrorist groups and whatnot that are out here preaching their own versions of hatred, and yet they get to speak freely as they will. I mean, you gotta respect them for it. I mean, even though it's completely wrong, to say something like, oh, well, I hate this bunch of people on so-and-so, and, like that, because, yeah, it's not okay to talk like that. It's not okay to talk about hatred, but we gotta respect that. And think about Alex Jones is like, I mean, he has his own talk show and stuff like that, but I mean, he's really kind of just harmless in the whole state of things, because I mean, some of the stuff he says is just way too over the top, and you're not supposed to take it too seriously. But I mean, it is what it is. Twitter suspended the guy. I think he's been deplatformed all over YouTube and stuff like that. I mean, it's just not right. It's not right. I mean, I don't really like the guy too much, but I mean, hey, it's whatever, People are gonna silence you whenever you say something that's out of turn, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. So I mean, Alex Jones, I'm pretty sure he's a great guy in real life, but like censoring him just for doesn't, I mean, all the guy does is like sell like these protein shakes and whatnot, like these little the little protein pills for when you exercise. I mean, that's really all his site is for. I mean, all that other stuff, all that political junk that he spouts out, like the stuff about Sandy Hook and whatnot, that, even though that wasn't really okay, but I mean, hey, it's something. It's really something, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. So enough about Alex Jones and whatnot. I'm pretty sure that's a whole nother story that can take up a whole, that could take hours, to talk about. But let me talk about something else real quick. Y'all know Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk, right? Yeah. I think it was the Young Americans Foundation. I don't forgot what the name of the organization was called. It was either that or Turning Point USA. But anyway, that's not the point. So one day they were just sitting, inside a little coffee shop, just having a little conversation, and a bunch of people just came rushing in and started, throwing coffee and stuff on them, shouting expletives and whatnot. That wasn't okay either. That's not something you want to do at all to somebody, to just chunk a piece of chunk, like a bunch of coffee on them just because they have opposing views and whatnot. Because those two that I just mentioned, they're kind of on that conservative side of things, where it's all about strong, it's all about strong morals and whatnot and strong upkeep. And I mean, it's always about like keeping control of things. I'm pretty sure you've heard of some of the stuff by now, like the gun control thing, where it's like where people are free to have guns, but I mean, you're not going to really place any restrictions on them or anything like that. But I mean, yeah, that's just one example, but it doesn't really matter. But anyway, back on to the subject at hand. I mean, I really like Candace Owens, to be honest. I really do. She's kind of a role model to me. Okay, not really, but you get what I'm saying. She's kind of influential in some ways. And as African Americans in this country, the stereotype is always there. Well, oh, just vote Democrat. You don't have to vote Democrat just because. You have the right to your own opinion. You have the right to free speech in this country. That's what you have. That's what you were born with. That's what you'll always have, and it will stay in there until you die. And you don't have to get the blue pill. You can get a red pill sometimes. It's not always about it's not always about Democrat or Republican. Remember, there's all different spectrums to everything. There's a whole lot of discourses to everything that we have in our society, and having the right to say things like that is perfectly fine. In some other countries, it may not be the best thing to just speak out against a guy like Donald Trump. I mean, who would have thought the guy? I mean, we're still feeling the effects. Like, how in the world did this guy, a billionaire with like tons of resources and no political experience, none at all? How? And we're still trying to figure out, like, how in the world did he get into the highest office in the country? We're still trying to figure that out. It's 2018. I mean, because I mean, it's all just something, that we're all proud of. Having the right to free speech is, of course, the most important thing, and being able to run as president or something along those lines, no matter how much experience you have or how many bankruptcies you have. In the case of Donald Trump, where he had like several bankruptcies and stuff like that. It doesn't matter about your past. It doesn't matter about the experiences that you've had. As long as you've got the people behind you and things like that, you will get something like Donald Trump has gotten, which is the presidency. Now, I'm sure you're probably wondering, well, how in the world could this have happened and everything like that? I mean, like I said before, I just don't know. It's still a mystery to me. I remember watching the election live as it happened, and like the whole thing, with the Electoral College, and people were all upset about that. I'm still baffled as to why people are upset about the Electoral College. I mean, we're a republic. Let's just face it with that. We're not a democracy, even though we preach it. We're a republic, and that's just the way it is. We've seen instances where, people are just getting too riled up over the simplest of things, and it just doesn't work when you have majority of the people electing someone. I mean, who knows how it would be with Hillary Clinton as president? Who knows? I don't know, because she isn't elected. But let's just say hypothetically, I mean, everything would be kept in the dark. I mean, because that's just the way politicians work, you know. I mean, at least Donald Trump could just go out on Twitter and just be like, well, you know, blah, blah, blah about the NBA or something about the NFL's protests and whatnot, you know. I mean, at least he's a little bit more public about it. But I mean, the stuff he does on the side, you know, that people don't know about, you know, it's all gotta be, you know, it's all gotta be the machinations of someone that can just get it done, you know. I mean, it is what it is, you know. Donald Trump, I mean, he may not be the best president in the eyes of the people, but I mean, we really didn't have much of a choice. I mean, who else were you gonna select? Jill Stein? I mean, I didn't even know anything about Jill Stein, so I mean, that's how you know. I mean, third-party people, or you know, they don't even have the they don't have the upkeep, for better or worse, to say. I mean, you know, just going back onto it, you know, let me get back on the Donald Trump real quick. So in the last couple of days, I'm sure, you know, you've heard about Michael Cohen and, well, what happened to him. I mean, it's not really an implication on the Trump about Russia. Because, I mean, people are still talking about that too, you know. How does all this tie together? I mean, I don't even know at this point. And the whole thing is about Russia is that we really haven't found much yet. I mean, sure, there was some stuff about, you know, on back to Michael Cohen real quick, you know, about the whole campaign violations. And I mean, that's just a whole different story, you know, like misdemeanors and fines and, you know, in some cases felonies. I mean, I don't know everything about that. So, I mean, and that guy got indicted on 8 counts the other day. So, I mean, you know, it's all bad for him. Can't say much for Donald Trump yet. I mean, Senate and House elections are coming up, and people are just all up in arms about everything. The whole thing with Russia, we don't know everything yet. I forget. I think back a couple of months ago, they arrested about 12 or 13 guys that were just hacking into like emails and stuff like that. You remember the whole thing about Hillary Clinton and her emails. I mean, it's all just one big bow where, you know, it's the people's job to find it out. It's not everything can be on the politicians and all the media people. You know, it's up to the people sometimes to find it out. And I mean, the people are going to find out the information they want to find out. And thing is, going back to the Electoral College real quick, I don't understand why people just want to, you know, completely abolish it. I mean, we have those 270 votes to get in as president for a reason. And then when, you know, if that can't happen, you know, if there's a tie, you know, it just goes down to the vice president or the Senate, with the vice president being the last choice, you know, the incumbent that was already in the White House being the last choice. And I mean, hey, you know, I mean, the majority vote, you know, that is a good thing. But I mean, sometimes it just doesn't work. I mean, I can think of 3 examples off the top of my head, but I can't name them. And, you know, I'm sure, you know, people are probably gonna be mad at me right now, like just watching this and seeing a guy, you know, that's kind of just rambling at this point, you know, talking conservatively, and you know, there's probably some people out there that just don't like that. I mean, hey, it's all good. I mean, all these college campuses around here, oh boy, it's not the greatest environment. I mean, I'm a college student myself, and it's sometimes, you know, you can't speak, you know, like a conservative. You have to speak, you know, like everybody else speaks, which is, you know, super ultra left wing, you know, and it's not okay. It's not okay at all. You know, you have the right remember, you have the right to free speech, even if somebody else disagrees with you, because all speech is good speech. Maybe retract that a little bit. Not not hate speech. Hate speech is bad. It's always bad. So anyway, back on the thing about colleges. All these college kids. I'm a college kid. I'm only 21. I mean, I've got the whole rest of my life ahead of me. And when you're being silenced by other people, it's not okay. You have to speak up. And it makes perfect sense, to come here on this program with potentially thousands of people watching, to talk conservatively to you all, because I'm sure I'm sure a good chunk of you out there are conservative. I'm sure a good chunk of y'all out there are very liberal. I mean, it's all good. I mean, I love all of you. But anyway, let me tell you, if you try to silence someone and if it does not go well, try and silence somebody, doesn't go well, they have their little outlet to speak. Let them speak. Let them speak whatever they want to speak. It may not be the worst thing. It may not be the best thing. It may not be the worst thing either. Like a couple months ago with the whole protest at UNT here, where a bunch of super ultra religious church guys were just out by the library, and they were just spouting their nonsense. Not necessarily, it wasn't the worst thing in the world, but everybody, it was all a collaborative effort. I was there myself. Let the guys speak. Get your arguments ready, because you're gonna have to counter whatever stuff they say, and they probably have stuff to fire back too. Thank y'all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time with another show.